Roundabouts are coming to Sarasota. Will they solve the traffic problem? Hi everyone, my name is Mike Rennick. I'm the senior broker, the team lead with Team Rennick Real Estate Services, part of that great Keller Williams on the Water family. We're here today to talk about Sarasota Roundabouts, and my guest today is Mr. Stephen Reed.
Hey, good to see you, Mike.
You bring outstanding content to this. I want to thank you right up front.
Well, thank you so much.
So, where are we at, first of all?
Okay, we're at a place that anyone who's been down here has been, and some of you have spent a lot of time here, unfortunately. This is the corner of Gulfstream Avenue and US 41. And right now it's a little misleading. It's a beautiful Sunday morning.
Yep. It's
so
still early.
Yeah, the traffic's flowing.
Yep.
People are waking up, getting moving. But during weekdays, and when you get to, I mean, it is Florida, so the early bird dinner hour of about 4:30
Absolutely.
to about 7, the congestion can be tremendous. And as Longboaters or Lido Key residents know, or anyone who's visited the area and come out to the islands, if you get stuck in that traffic, you can be backed up over the bridge to St. Armand Circle and beyond.
So let me clarify a point by asking a question. I hear about the traffic problems in Longboat Key. I don't believe it's a Longboat Key issue. Would you agree or disagree? Because I've had long backups here in Sarasota.
No, generally speaking, the traffic flows. It hits St. Armand Circle,
Right.
and you know, because of pedestrian crossings, and that's a whole nother issue we'll talk about, it can bottleneck there. But essentially, the problem has been and is historically right here.
So
this
let me level
intersection.
set that for just a
Yeah.
second. Most of the folks I meet here are like myself. I'm not a Floridian originally, I'm from Michigan. They're from other states. We're down here for one reason. It's beautiful days like this in February. So when I'm stuck in traffic, I just go there with my mind to realize they're doing the same things right now that I'm doing. So it brings a lot of folks here. And now the city says it's time to address it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with complaints and aggravation and anger. And the city realized two things. One, the traffic was really bad and has been for years. The second is they've added thousands of new residential units throughout this downtown core area. We're right in front of the View, which is a case in point.
Absolutely.
But what they did was they did what's called a preliminary solution or an interim solution. They added 3 turn lanes to the intersection. If you're coming down off the Ringling Bridge, there are now 3 opportunities, 3 lanes to turn left, and then there's a slip lane where you can get onto Fruitville, so it's kept that traffic flowing.
Has that made a difference?
Huge difference, I believe. I mean, it's all a little bit anecdotal, but I think most people feel that way. And that brings me to a point. Not everyone agrees when it comes to traffic, how to address it,
Right.
how to solve it. You have the town of Longboat Key, which, you know, I've been following Longboat Key politics for 2 decades plus. And a lot of type A personalities, a lot of what I would call retired experts in everything, okay? I love them to death, but they absorb the information and come up with their own engineering solutions.
Correct.
Well, then you have the city of Sarasota, and you know, led by Tom Barwin and the City Commission, and they can range from being innovative to highly dysfunctional. They can do some of the craziest things. Then you add into that mix a state agency, the Florida Department of Transportation, and you get a lot of craziness, a lot of contention, and a lot of disagreement on what should be done about this traffic. But here's the deal. The city has been on a roundabout kind of mission over the last few years. They've put roundabouts in at most of the intersections on Ringling Boulevard. Mm-hmm. They've put roundabouts in on Main Street.
They have
You've
2,
seen them
I
on
think,
Main
right?
Street.
2
They recently put one at Coconut and Palm. And so these are sort of the side tertiary streets. They're significant roads. But this is a US 41 state road. Now you're going to see the next wave of roundabouts.
How does a roundabout alleviate congestion?
The idea of the roundabout is that if there is, a traffic light is very simple. It stops cars, right? So someone's waiting. Whether there's cars waiting or not, you sit and wait. A roundabout, the idea is there's a continuous flow of traffic. And then the secondary benefit, I'm gonna sound like a sales guy for them now. Secondary benefit is there's a huge reduction in T-bone collisions. People can't run roundabouts. So you don't generally have someone running a light, hitting another car. There's been some big accidents. You've seen this, you've seen at intersections that, that's where the worst accidents probably occur in intersections.
So the biggest thing, and that makes sense because I'll set at a light and I'm thinking no one's coming, I have to stay here, what a waste. A roundabout eliminates all of that. So traffic continues to flow.
It continues to flow. And the way these things get handled is it's all competing engineers. The city hires and FDOT hires engineers that will analyze and model these things. And they'll do everything from do what's called a gap analysis, which is the distance between vehicles. They'll calculate the flow rates. We're not the first city to do roundabouts, so they look at other cities and how they function. They know through empirical data how the existing lights are functioning. So then what they'll do is they'll make these predictions and say it'll be better. It will move traffic faster.
Okay.
And that's what they've concluded. The Longboat Key Commission, though, let's step back to the controversy here, really doesn't want a roundabout here. I mean, I'm talking about they hired their own engineer, spent, I don't know, maybe $40,000 to review the data to come up with a different conclusion to say it might not be as good as what you got. What they prefer is to leave the 3 turn signals, see if they'll work good enough and solve the problem and not jump forward with this roundabout. That's what what Longboat wants.
Longboat feels a roundabout will be a step backwards.
Nah, they feel like this 3rd turn lane fixed the problem.
Right, so
let's leave it alone. Let's give it a couple seasons. Now, in the world of litigation and when you're fighting something, delay is victory.
Yeah.
So if you're against something and you can stall it, and the FDOT works on time frames and schedules. If they stall this project long enough, other projects take precedence.
But in fairness, this roundabout is fully within Sarasota.
It's in the city. We're in the city.
Okay.
And
it's not even touching Longboat.
And it fulfills their master plan. The city, like any other entity, has a master plan. Their master plan is to increase pedestrian connectivity from downtown to that waterfront. That waterfront is very cut off. And so you have this big road. So the roundabout will have a lot more crossing options. There may be an options to have walkovers for traffic, for pedestrians.
Okay.
It slows the traffic because when it's a green light, people are going 40 miles, 45 miles an hour. In a roundabout, the cars exit slower.
What's the next step in the process?
All right. Well, before this is built, let me dial it back a little. The city right now is working on roundabouts. I'm not the city, FDOT, at 10th Street and 14th Street.
Okay.
So you've seen the construction. That's what's going on there. There'll be roundabouts there.
Okay.
The next one after that is going to be at Fruitville and US 41. Big deal. It's going to be the big entrance to the future, used to be the Quay, and is the future Ritz-Carlton. You see the Ritz-Carlton residences going up. Well, the developer basically fronted the money to build that project. So that's coming in. The final design work is being completed as we speak for this thing. The money is in the budget for right-of-way acquisition. Once that is done, it's going to move forward. Originally, FDOT said they would start construction by the end of this year, 2019. I would guess, because it's government, things move slowly. I'd end up saying next year they'll start.
So let's do this. We'll come back, and this will be one of the things on our watch list to keep up to date for folks who are interested in either living, playing, or working in the Sarasota, Bradenton, Longboat Key, all the island area.
Yeah, and let me add, it's kind of, I know some people like the traffic light, but this is an exciting era in the city of Sarasota. It's really gonna, I don't want to say Europeanize the city, but there's something more beautiful about a roundabout and the artwork and landscaping that can occur. And so I'm looking forward to it personally.
Excellent. Steve, again,
good to see you.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.